What up? What up? I am Jack Freeman, and you know I got soul.
We got Jack
Yeah,
Freeman. How are you
yeah,
feeling?
I'm good. Recovering from the week's festivities, but I'm good, man. This album's finally coming out, so gotta rejoice.
Your new album, Nina, is dropping tomorrow. By the time this interview comes out, it'll be out and available for everybody to listen to. I have had a
Yeah,
chance to listen to it. Amazing album. So you're here.
so
How do you feel about being at this point, your album finally dropping?
I feel great. I This is a so far been a 3-year process. So which typically my albums kind of take that long to like materialize, and sometimes we want to make it shorter. But I mean, I feel great about it. I think that when you sat on this work for so long and you've heard it as it's in its growth and as it continues to evolve into what it's becoming now, it's always exciting. So when that's finished, it's just it's like for me, it's like I know how good it is, but I can't wait for everybody else to hear how good it is.
Yeah,
So yeah, man, it just feels great, man. I've been doing this a long time, so like it's always fun to get to this point, at least. You know.
definitely.
So obviously Brian's the executive producer, and I've known him for a long, long time. So Adonis. That's the second song we did in the room that day when we met. So the first song we did was MVP.
Oh, okay.
And then the second one was right after that. Brian was like, "Yeah, I got this," and he played it. And Adonis is just really quick, and I'm quick to an extent, but Adonis is like fast, fast. And just watching him work, and it's seamless too. I haven't really done a lot of co-writes in my past because I'm always the one writing. And the experience with him was unique because this is a guy who obviously has the hits to you know for his resume. He can slap his resume down and tell anybody like, "Hey, I got this." And Brian obviously has all the resumes. So,
And
and
10 Grammys.
together they have a yeah, you got 10 Grammys, you got a number one record right now. You know what I'm saying? So like them two together have a resume that spans along, so they could both just be like, "You sit there and we'll do this," right? But Adonis came in with the mindset of, okay, well, you're already a writer. What does he need? What can I do to add to this? And really, I just let him go. And you know, that first hook, I mean, that first verse of Undressed and the hook is on him. Just you know what I'm saying? And then Brian chimed in on the second verse. I chimed in on the second verse. It's the least amount of work on the front end that I had to do. I just had to go in
Very
there and sing.
collaborative process,
So
though. I can see that. Like,
yeah, it's very collaborative. I think we all have a great idea of where we wanted to go with the project because I mean, with the album, I had already had a lot of records for this album, and Brian just filled in what was missing and what he knew we needed to round the sound out. So it was great, man. Shout out to Adonis, man. I definitely can't wait to get back in there with him soon.
definitely. So, Nina is the title of the album. Tell me a little bit about where you came up with that name. What does it mean to you, and what do you want people to get from this album?
So it was just I started this album in 2021, and I was just making songs, making songs, and making songs, and I wasn't really sure where I wanted to go with it. But what I did know was that at that moment in time, I hadn't been hearing a lot of music, a lot of new artists, a lot of new male artists writing music specifically for the the lover in their life, or the woman that they're trying to reach. Like there's a lot of different R&B out right now. And a lot of that R&B isn't necessarily centered around the ladies who enjoy R&B. You know what I'm saying? So I was thinking, I was like, well, I don't recall anyone ever just naming songs after women. I mean, naming albums after women. And why not? Why not do that? Why not create an idea? So Nina is the person that you see, like whoever your Nina is. Your Nina could be your boyfriend. It could be your girlfriend, your wife, whoever. and write these songs specifically about a muse that encompasses a lot of things. So, I plan to do that for the next few projects. It's just a name of most, and we celebrating. I like to celebrate Black women for sure, and Nina's a very Black name. Uh, so,
And I love it.
um,
I love
yeah,
it.
and I plan to continue to do that highlight and do that name them after women and continue to just create narratives and create stories around love that resonate with everybody in a way that keeps them playing it as much as possible.
I like that. So out of all the songs on the album, do you have any ones in particular? I know obviously they all mean
We
something to you.
go.
They're all your music, but I want to ask a very specific question. Like, are any of the songs the most meaningful to you? Like, I'm not going to ask you if you have a favorite. You don't need a favorite, but which ones are the most meaningful to you for this particular project?
The most meaningful. Let me see. So there's a couple. So I really like Red Light because it's one of the first songs I did. Like might have been the second session or so or when I did that. The reason why it's the most meaningful to me, well, one of the most meaningful to me is because it's a vulnerable song right after Undress, right? So the vulnerability of it all is, the way I wrote it was affirming your your woman before you get her to, how do I say, drop that guard. And how like how you want to tell your man, like you getting dressed and y'all getting ready to go out and you don't like the dress and the dress don't look good on you because maybe you not feeling so good, maybe hadn't been in the gym in a couple of days, or you got your woman problems going on or anything like that. And you just don't like the way your body looks. And I started off with your body's perfect. I know you want to argue with me right about I know you want to argue with me about it right now, but I see it every day. And I want you so bad it's hurting. You know what I'm saying? And it's basically sitting you down and saying, like, your body's perfect. Like, don't worry about it. And also, it's so perfect that we might not make it to where we're going tonight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then it's your body's nervous. I know you're trembling with excitement, but I just want to feel you in every way. It's a way, and it's the longest song in the album because sometimes it takes the longest to get you to understand that what you have on is perfect. How you look is perfect right now. You gotta worry about nothing else. And whether we going out or whether we staying in tonight or we doing, it's the most like, this is how I want you to feel, right?
Right.
And tell me how you would like me to make you feel. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And so that's one of the ones. You is also one of the more meaningful ones because it's just there's a couple of songs on there where we're just telling you just how much I love you, man. Like just how much, like, you know, the affirmation that you need of just like the stuff that we're not that good at. I like to try to make songs for women that need to hear it and for men that aren't good with words,
Yeah.
that don't communicate well. And so that light, airy feeling that you get when you're in love with somebody, you should be able to kind of like give them that. So those are probably two. On This Day is a record that's very meaningful to, that was Brian's concept. Just thinking back on love that you had before that really like shaped the way you look at yourself and look at the way you look at love now. And going in your phone and how technology would sit up there and remind you of that time you was with the girl that you loved 5 years ago that you're no longer with, that you probably haven't seen in 5 years.
Right.
So that and calling my name is one of the first that I did as well. So those are the most meaningful ones. Obviously they're all my kids and I love them all. So
Yeah.
you know,
And you speak so highly of the tracks on the album. It's clear that you are very passionate about, respecting Black women and, giving them flowers and and also being the voice for men to be able to express that love to women or to whoever, to their significant other or anyone in general. So
Mhm.
As far as R&B, you mentioned R&B being, having different types of R&B right now that's been put out. What is different about Nina as opposed to the rest of, the R&B that's been released lately? What do you want to bring to the table as an artist?
Well, I really want to. I think what sets it apart is that it's very sonically diverse. So it taps into all of the things that I'm inspired by, whether it be this something that's going on now or mostly the things that I've loved my whole life. So I've always leaned into the soul aspect of R&B. I've always been into, you know, funky things like D'Angelo and Prince and the Gap Band and Parliament Funkadelic and all that stuff. So I always try to like infuse as much of that as I can while making it me. But then Brian brings in and Labbox bring in a different sound. So Labbox is gonna bring that bump to it, that almost hip hop feel, that loud feeling that that we singing good and the beat is cold. You know what I'm saying? And Brian is gonna always be that guy that's like I don't know a more R&B dude than Brian. So he's going to give you the ballads and the up tempos and things like that. Like it's the most sonically diverse thing that I've done in a long probably ever. And the key to it all is that we chose the songs with intention. We made the songs with intention, and we're really adamant about understanding what it is that we want to say. We're not just going in the booth and just spitting out whatever just sounds and feels good at the moment. A lot of these songs, especially with Brian, like a lot of these songs were built out of conversation. On This Day was built out of conversation. Red Light was built out of conversation with myself. You was built out of a conversation with myself. Me and Labbox will sit in the studio for 7 hours talking while we're doing things.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Shine was built out of conversation. We make these things with intention because there's no reason to make music that only you resonate with.
Right.
And like you know what I'm saying? Like everybody in the room contributed to the conversation because everybody has their own idea of this stuff. And so what I want to get back to is, and I think there's a lot of artists that are really doing it well, and I want to just contribute to that, is let's cut the conversations that we're having on social media about what things should look like in your relationship, these hypothetical things that aren't actually happening in real life. Let's start talking to each other and telling our significant others that we love them and that
Keep
they're
it real.
beautiful, and just keep it real. Or this upsets me and we should talk about that, or it's already done. So really fuck you. But like,
Right,
you know what I'm
right.
saying? Whatever the situation is, but let's get to, and then let's get to making it jamming again. You know
Mhm.
what I'm saying? Like let's get it jamming again. Like them girls this year that dominated the Grammys this year, even the ones that didn't win, they jamming. They jamming. So like we gotta be jamming too. Like we gotta hold up our end of the bargain too as the male R&B artists. You know what I'm saying? And while supporting them, you know what I'm saying. So and then once we do that, R&B is going to be unstoppable. If we ever get to that, it will be unstoppable.
Definitely. And I heard you talk about a few different artists. So if you could, join forces with another male R&B artist or even a female R&B artist, if you can collaborate with anybody right now, who would it be?
Definitely want to do an Alex Isley record. I would love to do a record with Ari Lennox. Um, just met John B. Would love to do a John B record. Really like Kenyon Dixon. I would really love to do a Kenyon Dixon record. Duran Bernard's my guy. You got to do one. Um, Jagged Edge, which I don't
Mhm.
know. Maybe one of these
I know.
days you might hear one.
I know. I know
Yeah.
B Cox is an honorary member.
Yeah. He's definitely an honorary member. So we got those. Let's see. Man, there's so many of them that I think are just super talented, man. There's an artist out of Houston named Dende that's really doing his thing. So many of them. PJ Morton, I'd love to do something with PJ. Love to work with Robert Glasper. I'm a fan of so many artists. You know, that's why I can't understand why people would tell me that, you know, certain genres are dead or nah. It's there. You just not looking for it. It's
Right.
there. It's right there. You know what I'm saying? So, and Coco Jones too. She's dope. And Victoria Monet. I love them a lot. So,
Absolutely. So now that the album is finally out, what do you
mhm.
see? Like what is next? I know there's a long process and it's been a long journey, like you said, 3 years of this album being in the works, and now it's finally out. What's next?
Man, more promotion, more content. We're gonna shoot a video or two again. Really want to get these shows going so I can come to a city near you guys. So please stream at every place that you can go, every place that you are, so that I know what cities I need to hit and countries. But more so, what I'm most excited about is going out to these cities and seeing people and making new fans and getting that popping. So
Absolutely. I definitely think some touring is in the future for sure. That'd be pretty amazing.
definitely
Absolutely. Well, like I said, Nina is dropping. It's already out now by the time this interview is out. So we are excited for you. We're going to be following the journey. And of course, we'll be supporting you the whole way.
shout out to Tom, man. Tom interviewed me at SOBs in New York, and it was dope. So you know, to be able to reconnect with you guys and if you guys are showing me the support, thank you for all the support you've been showing Brian and just the entire team and the movement, man. We all appreciate you guys. So thank you very much.